Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Karine. Can you move it? Adhananastrandanta. What are you doing? I just took it off. Just move it out of the way. Yeah. Adhananastrandante ridam yacha puna puna Shrimadrupam Mahamboje Rajuham Shambhave Bhave Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. I'm waiting for someone to memorize that verse. Adhanastram dante ridam yacha puna puna Shrimad Rupa Mahabhoje Rajuham Shambhave Bhave. It's in the folio, I think.
But the last line is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there may be different versions. So we're Act 6, Scene 1.
You just asked us to remind you to read Rukmini's prayers from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam.
Say that again.
You asked us to remind you to.
Okay, go there. Let's see. Open with that second one, yeah, from that side. Okay, 10. How many 10 volumes are there? 10 canto.
4.
10-3. Let's see. Krishna Sudha visits Vrindavan, Akuras Mushes, Krishna establishes Dwarka, Krishna kidnaps Rukmini. Rukmini's message to Krishna. Krishna and Balaram run from Jarasandha's armies. Krishna and Balaram climb Pravarshana mountain, 266. Devotees asked, said, seeing the fierce waves of the enemy's army, this is when Jarasandha is chasing Krishna and Balaram, the two Madhavas, imitating human behavior, ran swiftly. Abandoning the abundant riches, fearless but feigning fear, they went many yojanas on their lotus feet. When he saw them, powerful Jarasandha laughed loudly and then pursued them with charioteers and foot soldiers. He could not understand the exalted position of the two lords. Apparently exhausted after fleeing a long distance, the two lords climbed a high mountain named Pravarshana, upon which Lord Indra showers incessant rain. Although he knew they were hiding on the mountain, Jarasandha could find no trace of them. Therefore, O king, he placed firewood on all sides and set the mountain ablaze. The two of them then suddenly jumped from the burning mountain, which was 11 yojanas high, and fell to the ground. Okay, 11 yojanas is 88 miles, 90 miles high. So, devotees said, Prabhupada, there's no mountains on this planet 90 miles high. And Prabhupada said, well, there's one. He says, but no one's ever seen it, no one's ever found it. He says, well, they're looking in the wrong place. If Bhagavatam says there's a mountain that's 90 miles high, then there's a mountain 90 miles high. Move this side of it. And that's the faith that we have in okay, now Rukmini's message to Krishna, 282. These are there are certain prayers, certain verses in Śrīmad-Bhagavatam that are well known to Vaishnavas. Rukmini's prayers, Vritrasura's prayers before he dies, and so on. Here is Sri Rukmini Uvacha. Now, I'm just skipping, but she sent a Brahmin messenger, which is interesting why they would use Brahmins as messengers, because, you know, messenger is sort of a, careful it doesn't fall here, lowly service, and but at the same time, Brahmin, it's questionable whether they, how much they wrote down or how much they just did verbally. So there's verbal message, but in any case, Brahmins are trustworthy. They can't be bribed, or they shouldn't be able to be bribed. They don't change things. And Shutva gunan bhuvana sundara shinvatam te nirvishyakarna vivarer haratong rupam drisham drishimatam akilartalabham tvai achyuta visati chittam apatrapam me. Shri Rukmini said in her letter as read by the Brahmana, Lekha is doesn't say, O beauty of the worlds, having heard of your qualities which enter the ears of those who hear and remove their bodily distress, and having also heard of your beauty which fulfills all the visual desires of those who see, I have fixed my shameless mind upon you, O Krishna. I mean, she never saw Krishna, she just heard from Narada Muni. Katva mukunda mahati kulashira rupa vidya vayodravina dhamabhir atmatulyam dira patim kulavati navrinita kanya kalein risim manaraloka mano biramam. O Mukunda, you are equal only to yourself in lineage, character, beauty, knowledge, youthfulness, wealth, and influence. O Lion among men, you delight the minds of all mankind. What aristocratic, sober-minded, and marriageable girl of good family would not choose you as her husband when the proper time has come? Tan me bhavan kaluvrita patirangajayam atmarpitam cha bhavatotra vibho videhi ma birabhagam abhimarshatu chaidya arad Goma yuvan mrigapatir balibam bujaksha. Just like in Prabhupada Lalita-mādhava there, where Prabhupada's mother tells her husband, if you don't get a daughter married, then I'll commit suicide. Therefore, my dear Lord, I have chosen you as my husband, and I surrender myself to you. Please come swiftly, O Almighty One, and make me your wife. My dear lotus-eyed Lord, let Shishupal never touch the hero's portion like a jackal stealing the property of a lion. Purteshta datta niyama vratadeva vipra gurvarchanadi biralam bhagavan paresha aradito yadigadagraja etyapanim Grina tu me na damagosha shutada yonye. If I have sufficiently worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead by pious works, sacrifices, charity, rituals, and vows, and also by worshipping the demigods, Brahmins, and Gurus, then may Gadagraj come and take my hand, and not Damagosha's son or anyone else. Shvobha vinitvam ajito dvahani vidarbhan gupta samitya pritana patibir parita nirmatya chaidya magadendra balam prishaya mam rakshashena vidinod vahavirya shulkam. O unconquerable one, tomorrow when my marriage ceremony is about to begin, you should arrive unseen in Vidarbha and surround yourself with the leaders of your army, then crush the forces of the Chaidya and Magendra and marry me in the Rakshasa style, winning me with your valor. Anta purantara charim anihatya bandhum tvam udave katamita pravadam upayam purve jurasti mahati kuladeva yatra yasyam bahir nanvavadur girijam upeyat. Since I will be staying within the inner chambers of the palace, you may wonder, how can I carry you away without killing some of your relatives? But I shall tell you a way. On the day before the marriage, there is a grand procession to honor the royal family's deity, and in this procession the new bride goes outside the city to visit goddess Girija. Yasyangri pankaja rajas napanam mahanto vanchanti umapatir vatatamu pahatyai yaryam Bhujakshana labeya bhavat prasadam jayam asunvrata krishan sata janmabhisyat. O lotus-eyed one, great souls like Lord Shiva hanker to bathe in the dust of your lotus feet and thereby destroy their ignorance. If I cannot obtain your mercy, I shall simply give up my vital force, which will have become weak from the severe penances I will perform. Then after hundreds of lifetimes of endeavor, I may obtain your mercy. This is the confidential message. Guya Sandesh. Sandesh, it just means message, could be anything. I think Rukmini is 13 years old. She's, and just put it over there. She's 13 years old, and yeah. So if someone asks, well, what version do we accept here? It just gives one prayer, and then we always give deference to Śrīmad Bhagavatam as authority, but we consider within, one may consider Rupa Goswami the highest authority above Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Of course, Śrīmad Bhagavatam is Vyasadeva. Okay, now this is the Vishkambhaka. What is Vishkambhaka?
Introduction.
Uddhava. Even though Indra and the demigods prayed to him to become unafraid of the demons, Krishna built a fort in the sea out of fear of insignificant Jarasandha. Even though his great intelligence has masterminded the entire universe, Krishna approaches me for advice. Who can understand the transcendental pastimes of inscrutable Lord Krishna? Reflecting, Now I'm very anxious at heart to see Devarshi Narada. Turning to the sky. What do you say? Lord Narad is in the Sudharma assembly house? Very well, I will go there. Walks. Ah, here is Lord Narad. Narad enters. To taste the waves of ever-fresh bliss in Lord Krishna's heart, in the world there are many kinds of devotional love. Let us glorify the greatness of the love in the gopis' hearts. Even Lord Krishna, the controller of everyone's senses, does not have the power to understand their love. Looking ahead, he becomes blissful. Here is famous Uddhava, his body decorated with tilak, his shoulders with the chakra and other signs, his neck with incomparable tulsi beads, and his head and body with Krishna prasadam. He is like a flooding stream of pure devotion for the Lord. So you can see Uddhava is dressed just like a sadhaka. Uddhava, Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances. Narada, greeting him with auspicious benedictions. O King of Counselors, why do you look so dejected? Uddhava, Lord, because I offended Krishna's lotus feet. Narada, you are a desert where the seed of offenses can never sprout. Even if by destiny some offense sprouts there, Krishna will never take it seriously. Uddhava, Lord, my rashness forced Krishna to plunge deep in a dangerous forest. Uddhava, Narada, what did you do? Uddhava, on behalf of Lord Krishna, I made a request to insignificant King Satyajit. Uddhava, and Narada, what was your request? Uddhava, I asked him to give both his jewel-like daughter and the Shamantaka gem to Lord Krishna. Now it comes. Narada aside, wonderful, wonderful. This rashness will now fulfill the desires of the other gopis openly. Then your request went in vain? Uddhava, he agreed, but still a great calamity occurred. Narada, even though he did not deny the request, Satyajit was still offensive to Lord Krishna. When a person with a pure heart follows the instructions of great devotees, he attains a host of good qualities, although a person with a sinful heart will not at once attain the same result. If a doe-eyed young girl sprinkles a bakula tree with a nectar from her mouth, the tree will immediately sprout many new buds. What will happen if she sprinkles an atarushaka plant? No new buds will sprout. Even though Satyajit followed Lord Krishna's order, he remained an offender. Okay, so now we read about two trees. Bakula tree, if someone speaks very nicely, Krishna, then the bakula tree will sprout. And for instance, in Vrindavan, Govinda Maharaj's house in that courtyard, that's a bakula tree. And the other one was the Ashok tree, that if you kick it with your toe, then it will sprout. Uddhava, although he gave his jewel-like daughter to the infallible personality of Godhead, he declined to give the Shamantaka jewel. By doing so, Satyajit destroyed both his brother, Prasena, and his good reputation. Narada, I heard that Prasena died while hunting. Uddhava, yes, it's true. Narada, then Krishna went to find Prasena. Uddhava, I sinned against Lord Krishna, the enemy of Chanura, whose transcendental pastimes are like a brilliant sun that chases away the darkness of ignorance in this world. I am very unhappy. I beg you bless me and relieve me of my sin. Narad, O bumblebee, drinking nectar at the flower of devotional service to lotus-eyed Lord Krishna, even the devotee's reckless activities are a source of pleasure for the Lord. If this is true for the devotees in general, then how much more true is it for you? who are so dear to the Lord. Today will be a great festival. You will have an auspicious opportunity to see the Lord's extraordinary and wonderful Vrindavan pastimes. Uddhava: Lord, you know better. Why do you uselessly tease me in this way? Lord Krishna is now wounded by many arrows of grief. How is it possible for him to return to Vrindavan? Actually, Satyajit lived in Vrindavan, and there he worshipped the sun god. And the sun god brought him gave him the Shamantaka jewel, and now remember that Srimati Radharani went, so she brought, he gave him also Srimati Radharani as daughter. Narada: what is the cause of these arrows of grief? Uddhava, the younger girl. His voice becomes choked in the middle of these words, and he's unable to continue speaking. So he's talking about Srimati Radharani because Chandravali is the older one of the two. Narada, laughing: if a person who has the power to see cannot see the glittering ring on his finger, thinks it's lost, and laments for it, what can we do to help him? Uddhava, with wonder and bliss: Lord, the blossoming vine of your words agitates the bumblebee of my mind. Tell me openly, is the younger goddess still alive? Narada: alive? What are you saying? At this moment she decorates the city of Dwarka. Uddhava, his hair standing in ecstasy: how did she get there? Narada: to his friend, childless Satyajit, who, praying for undying wealth and the best child, worshipped him with all his heart, the sun god gave two gifts: the jewel of the invincible Shankachira demon, and the younger girl, Śivarāma, who is now known by the name Satyabhama. The sun god affectionately said to Satyajit, following Narada's direction, give this very beautiful girl in marriage to the most exalted and famous husband. In this way you will become supremely famous in this world. Worship this Shamantaka jewel, and it will give you 8 abharas of gold every day. That's something in the region of 72 pounds of gold. It's about 35 kilos. 1 kilo of gold is $15,000. It's good income. The sun god affectionately said, oh yes, worship and give you. Uddhava, how did the sun god get this jewel? Narada, when Radha entered the sun planet, she gave it to him as if it were a handful of flowers. Uddhava, why did Radha go to the sun planet? The sun god said to his daughter, the Jamuna river, O daughter, because she can no longer see Lord Krishna, your friend Radha has given up her body at sunset. Bring her to me at once. Obeying her father's orders, the Jamuna brought the grieving Radha to the sun planet. Narada, desiring to establish a relationship with Krishna, the sun god sent his daughter, Yamaraja's younger sister, the Jamuna river, to Gokula, where she became known as Vishaka. Uddhava, Yamaraja's mother, Sanya, must have been very affectionate to Vishaka's friend Radha. Narada, yes. It was by Sanya's request that her father, Vishwakarma, the best of architects, constructed Nava Vrindavan at Dwarka. She said to him, O architect that decorates the worlds, so the stream of Sri Radha's sweetness may flow there. Please build in Dwarka another Vrindavan, splendid with bandira trees, filled with many trees and vines, with the Jamuna nearby and decorated with the beauty of Govardhan Hill. Uddhava, why did Vishwakarma's daughter make that request? Nard, Radha asked her. Uddhava, what did she say? Narada, she said, alas, alas, sinful, wretched fate violently took me far from Vrindavan, where I would have satisfied my heart by seeing the places where Krishna, the crowning garland of the Gopas, enjoyed pastimes. Uddhava, O Radha, fortunately the sun god, whose eyes gaze at all the three worlds, has protected us. O Radha, would your painful life have continued by building a sturdy bridge of hope to carry you across the ocean of Vrindavan, which is filled with the deep and eternally increasing water of Lord Krishna's pastimes? They speak so very beautifully. It's a whole poetically. This is what Brahma Samhita says, that every step is a dance and every word is a song. Then, Nard, then Shani's mother, Chaya, slowly said, O Radha, O newly blossoming lotus-faced girl, who fills the three worlds with transcendental bliss, do not be unhappy. Your beloved Lord, who is the object of the saintly devotees' meditations, eternally resides in the sun planet. So she said, don't lament, because the sun god is Lord Narayan. Uddhava, did Vishaka not answer? Nard, why should she not answer? She laughed and said, O Mother Suvarna, please listen, and I will tell you something. This is out of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Gopinam Pashupendra Nandana Jusho Bhavasya Kastvam Kriti Vigyatum Kshamate Duruha Padavi Sancharina Prakriyam Aviskurvati Vaishnavim Apitanum Tasmin Bujer Jishnubir Yasham Hanta Chatubir Adbhuta Ruchim Ragodaya Kunchati. Once Lord Krishna manifests himself as Narayan with four victorious hands and a very beautiful form. When the gopis saw this exalted form, however, their ecstatic feelings abated. A learned scholar, therefore, cannot understand the gopis' ecstatic feelings, which are firmly centered upon the original form of Lord Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. The wonderful feelings of the gopis in ecstatic Paramaras with Krishna constitute the greatest mystery of spiritual life. I'm not going to read because then it starts getting very exciting here. Yeah, if we go to Govardhan, and there's the inner Parikram road, and then there's the outer Parikram road. And if you go to first Chandra Sarovara, where Krishna had rasa dance, and then from there go to the tip and go to Narayan Sarovara, or what's the place called? I can hear someone out there saying it, but it's where in Yuvrajadam we put the kund up on top of Govardhan Hill. Anyway, this was the place where Krishna, where there was a cave, and where Krishna went under Govardhan Hill to lift it up. And it's also the place where, after that rasa dance, Krishna went to hide. And the gopis came looking for him, and then he manifests four arms, and the gopis weren't interested. And so here the same point is being made, is that Surya Narayan is four-armed form of Krishna, but gopis aren't interested in Narayan, they have no interest in him. And of course when Krishna came, then when Radharani came, then Krishna couldn't even, due to the nature of her love, he couldn't maintain his four arms, he had to. So actually that Alanath in Puri, where Lord Chaitanya used to go, that's Krishna with four arms. It's not Narayan, but it's Krishna with four arms. And then there's a tree there because Krishna wanted to go into the cave, and the cowherd boys, we said, what are you going to do? So I'm going to lift Govardhan Hill. They said, don't be silly. You're not just going to get in trouble. You can't lift the whole mountain. So then he had to show them, here's this paita, that's what it's called, paita. So here is this kadamba tree. He says, if you can knot it, then we'll let you go. So Krishna pulled out the kadamba and then he made a knot in it. So that tree is still there. There's a temple, and it's in a glass case. So it's knotted. And then the cowherd boy said, okay, go ahead. And then he went in that cave. That cave is also there, but there's supposed to be a snake in there, a very dangerous snake, so you can't go. There's a big rock on the outside of it. Paita. It's about, it's a couple of kilometers away from Govardhan Hill. Paita. And then there's Narayan Sarovara, and somewhere there's the Kunj, where the gopis also hid. So we'll read more tomorrow about Radharani's entrance into Dwarka, and it becomes very, very, anyway, it's very beautiful up to now, but it becomes very, even more beautiful as you go along. This picture is supposed to be of Rupa Goswami, but recently someone did some research and said it's not. That it's not Rupa Goswami. I forget who. Maybe it was, forget his name. Okay. Jai Shri Lalita-mādhava ki jai. Hare Krishna, everybody.